My child, before you criticize yourself again, before you replay that mistake one more time, before you tell yourself that you should have done better, stop for a moment. Because there is something you have believed about yourself for a very long time, and it has never been true. You have been too hard on yourself, far harder than I have ever been on you. You carry expectations that I never placed upon your shoulders. You punish yourself for mistakes I already forgave. You demand perfection from someone I only ever asked to keep walking. My child, that voice in your head that says, you should be further ahead by now. You should have figured this out already. You should be stronger than this. You should be doing more. That voice may be loud, but it is not mine. My voice sounds different. My voice says, you are growing. You are learning. You are healing. You are becoming. And becoming takes time. My child, you have spent so much of your life trying to become enough. Enough for your family, enough for your work, enough for your responsibilities, enough for other people's expectations, enough for yourself. And after all that effort, you still lie awake at night wondering if you are somehow falling short. You look at your unfinished goals, your unanswered prayers, your mistakes, your delays, your weaknesses, and you quietly ask yourself, what is wrong with me? My child, nothing is wrong with you. You are tired. There is a difference. You have been carrying pressure for so long that it has started to feel normal. You have been surviving for so long that peace almost feels unfamiliar. You have been strong for so long that asking for help feels like failure. But it is not failure. It never was. My child, you show compassion to people who hurt you. You forgive strangers for mistakes they made years ago. You encourage friends when they feel lost. You tell others to rest. You tell others to be patient with themselves. You tell others that healing takes time. But somehow, those same rules never apply to you. You speak to yourself with a harshness you would never use against someone you love. You call yourself weak. I call you exhausted. You call yourself broken. I call you healing. You call yourself a disappointment. I call you mine. There is a difference between those voices. Learn to recognize which one belongs to me. My child, you keep comparing your private struggles to other people's public victories. You see their promotions, their relationships, their achievements, their confidence, their certainty. And you quietly wonder why life seems easier for everyone except you. But you are comparing your behind-the-scenes moments to their highlight reel. You cannot see their fears, their sleepless nights, their hidden battles, their unanswered questions. Comparison has stolen enough joy from you already. Put it down. Your path was never meant to look like theirs. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing your life. You are living it, even here, even now. My child, you keep treating rest as something that must be earned. You tell yourself, I'll rest when everything is finished. I'll slow down when life becomes easier. I'll breathe after I solve this problem. But there will always be another responsibility waiting for you. Another email, another bill, another expectation, another reason to postpone peace. Rest is not a reward. Rest is part of being human. Even the earth rests. Even the seasons pause. Even fields are left untouched so new life can grow. Why do you believe that you alone must never stop? My child, being tired does not make you weak. Crying does not make you weak. Needing help does not make you weak. Healing slowly does not make you weak. You are human, and I never asked you to be anything else. You judge yourself for surviving the only way you knew how. You replay old decisions over and over. You ask yourself, what if I had chosen differently? What if I had known better? What if I had tried harder? My child, do not use today's wisdom to punish yesterday's version of yourself. The person you were back then was doing the best they could with the knowledge they had, with the strength they had, with the fear they carried, with the pain they were hiding. Be kinder to that person. They deserve your compassion too, my child. The person you keep criticizing so harshly is someone who survived things that almost destroyed them. The version of you that made mistakes was trying to survive. The version of you that trusted the wrong people simply wanted to believe in goodness. The version of you that stayed too long, loved deeply. The version of you that finally broke down had been strong for far too long. And the version of you listening to these words right now has carried far more than most people know. Be gentle with that person. They have been through enough already. My child, there are wounds you keep reopening because part of you believes that if you stop punishing yourself, you are somehow excusing what happened. But forgiveness is not denial. Healing is not denial. Moving forward is not denial. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to laugh again. You are allowed to experience peace again. You are allowed to stop carrying guilt that no longer belongs to you. My child, listen carefully. You do not need to earn your worth. You do not need to prove your value. You do not need to deserve love. You were loved before your achievements, before your success, before your failures, before your mistakes, before anyone applauded you. You were loved simply because you are mine, and that has never changed, not once, not ever. My child, growth is slower than you wish it was. Healing is slower than you wish it was. Life is slower than you wish it was. But slow does not mean broken. Seeds do not become trees overnight. Sunrises do not happen all at once. Winter does not disappear in a single day. Healing has seasons too. Some days will feel lighter. Some days will feel heavy again. That does not mean you are moving backwards. It means you are human. My child, you notice every place where you still need to improve. I notice every step you have already taken. You notice your failures. I notice your courage. You notice your weakness. I notice your perseverance. You notice how far you still have to go. I notice how far you have already come, and you have come farther than you realize. There were days you thought you would never survive, yet here you are. There were nights you thought would never end, yet here you are. There were seasons that almost broke your spirit, yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still trying, still hoping. That matters more than you know. My child, stop speaking to yourself as though you are your own enemy. You are someone I love deeply. Speak to yourself the way I speak to you, with patience, with kindness, with grace, with compassion. When you fail, learn. When you fall, stand again. When you are tired, rest. When you are hurting, heal. But do not hate yourself for being human. My child, one day you will look back on this season and understand something you cannot fully see right now. You were never failing. You were becoming. The delays were not punishment. The waiting was not abandonment. The struggle was not proof that I had forgotten you. I was shaping things you could not yet see, including your strength, including your wisdom, including your heart, especially your heart. So today, take a deep breath. Release the expectations that are crushing you. Release the standards that were never mine. Release the pressure to become everything all at once. You do not need to have your entire life figured out today. You only need the next step, and I will walk that step with you. My child, before you leave this moment, remember this. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not a disappointment. You are not a failure. You are growing. You are healing. You are becoming. You are loved deeply, completely, exactly as you are. And if your heart needed these words today, simply whisper, Lord, teach me to show myself the same grace that you show me. Then keep walking, not with shame, not with fear, not with self-condemnation, but with peace, because I never asked you to be perfect. I only asked you to keep walking, and my child, you already are.